What they're saying though, Jason, is this is all about kind of more scrutiny of kind of politicians in Wales. And obviously we all want better scrutiny of things, but I won't get into too much detail on how the voting system works because we could be here till 10 o'clock in terms of this. But if you actually look at, they're going to abolish the first past the post system, which is obviously a good thing. They talk about that's how it's done in Westminster. But there's lots of different ways you can do proportional representation, which is what they're saying they're going to introduce fully in Wales. But the way this system works that they're proposing actually means that it'll be very difficult for even smaller parties to get in. So, for example, you could have the scenario where a party, just let's call it Party A, gets 10% of the vote across the country. It could end up with 0 seats in the Senate. Now, if it was fully proportional, if you've got kind of 96 seats, they'd get between 9 and 10 seats. So for me, scrutiny is obviously a good thing. But from what I've been looking at in terms of the voting method, this is more likely to strengthen Welsh Labour's hand in the Parliament rather than have more parties in there scrutinising what's going on.
What about the fact that Theo Davis-Lewis, my political commentator a short time ago, said that the Senedd members are overworked? I just wonder how my listeners will feel about that as they get ready for a long shift at work today.
Well, I saw a tweet from, I think, one of the Assembly members yesterday saying they're going to be debating in the Welsh Parliament today some policies of Stalin from the 1930s. Now, when they're putting out those and saying they're going to be debating those today, that doesn't sound to me like being overworked. But they have had more and more powers devolved, Jason, over the last 20 or so years. So you could say the workload has gone up from scrutiny. But remember, we elect MPs. They are going to be reduced down to 32 in Wales, but we elect MPs who actually don't sit on many of the English or the UK Parliament committees because things have devolved to Wales. So you could make a case there. Why aren't we using more of the Welsh MPs to scrutinise what's going on in the Senate? For example, things like health and education. There'll be no role for those MPs to sit on committees to scrutinise the UK Parliament because obviously it's a devolved matter. Why don't we use those MPs, if people think we want more scrutiny, to scrutinise the politicians in Wales?